two of Japan's largest teaching unions have submitted petitions to the government signed by nearly 900,000 people, calling for reductions in the long hours of unpaid overtime they are expected to do. The Japan Teachers Union, Nikkyoso, on Wednesday sent a petition with 698,091 names to the Ministry of Education, a month after the All Japan Teachers Union, Zenkyo, filed a similar document with some 180,000 signatures calling for the government to establish a firm plan on how teachers' hours can be cut. The issue of working conditions within Japanese schools is presently being discussed in an expert panel set up in the ministry, with one proposal being a salary increase of 4% if teachers agree not to request pay for overtime hours. Regulations state that teachers cannot be forced to work overtime, although they come under pressure to assist outside classroom hours, such as by taking sports practices at weekends and going on school trips, without being paid. Administrative tasks and the grading of student papers also takes place outside official hours, as do class preparations. The average public school teacher earns around 3.7 million yen, $24,822 a year, rising to 5 million yen, $33,543 per annum after 10 years. According to a report in the Mainichi newspaper last year, teachers at junior secondary schools typically work 11 hours every weekday, with their primary level counterparts clocking 10 hours and 45 minutes each day. Okamoto said teachers joined the profession because they wanted to help children, and for years the educators had gradually been given additional tasks with no reward. The ministry was using the teachers' commitment to the profession against them, she said, because it was confident they would not strike for fear of hurting the children. The stresses of the profession are, however, taking a toll. A study by the ministry released in August last year showed that a record 953 teachers resigned from public schools across Japan in the 2021 academic year, citing mental health complaints. That figure was up 171 cases from the previous high, reported in 2018. The most frequently cited reason for teachers handing in their resignations at primary, junior high, and senior high schools was the long working hours. A separate study showed that a record 5,897 teachers applied to take a leave of absence in 2021 as a result of psychological issues. The ministry also confirmed that fewer people were applying to become teachers, in large part because of the poor conditions, meaning that those who remained in the profession were having to work even harder. The situation is so serious that the ministry announced last year the introduction of grants for counseling for teachers worried about their mental health. A foreign teacher who worked in Japanese schools for 5 years admitted to being shocked at the amount of hours Japanese teachers put in, and the time they were effectively expected to do for free. She was also stunned at teachers not being paid for coaching sports teams or other weekend responsibilities, describing it as forced voluntary hours. Teachers appear to broadly have the support of the public, with recent media coverage attracting angry online comments from readers. One message linked to the TBS News webpage saying, "If the voices of those on the ground are not heard, then this country is doomed." In a statement, Nikkyoso said it was calling on the ministry to act to save schools from the major crisis that is on the horizon, demanding that more teachers be hired to share the burden and the addition of more school counselors. The union also wants bureaucrats to devise ways to optimize their work roles and rethink pay structures,